Mr. Iqbal, Dr. Iqbal rather, thank you for making the time to join us. Maybe let's just get a sense from you first. Why the resignation? Why now?
Hi, Gugu. Thank you for having me on the show. I mean, look, I've stepped down as chairman of the listed Sekunjalo Investments. I'm still chairman of the Sekunjalo holding company, and I remain the largest shareholder of the listed company. The reason why I've stepped down from the listed company is because I've been CEO and chairman for 14 years. And the company is doing exceptionally well, as you've seen from the results. It's got a strong balance sheet, good operational cash flows, etc. And I felt, with a good board and a good management team, I felt it's the appropriate time to hand over the baton to the new board, Reverend Mahana, and the management team. So it's just, I think, very good timing.
You are quite correct in mentioning that the company has performed quite strongly over the last couple of years. Share price up by more than 120% in the last year. But the shares that you hold, are you looking to let go of them, or will you be holding on tightly to them going forward?
In fact, on the contrary, I will probably look to increase my shareholding in Sekunjalo Investments. It's a very, very good company. And, I'm always a long-term investor. So this is just part of my long-term portfolio. So I'm really happy and I have absolute confidence in both the board of directors, the new chairman and deputy chairman, and of course the management team.
And of course, as you've indicated, you've decided to retain your position as chairman. What kind of strategic direction should we be expecting from you now that all your attention is going to be focused on steering the board?
Well, as chairman of the holding company, which has got quite a large number of investments, of course, one of those investments includes independent media. I'll continue to lead independent media and have a soft touch in terms of its strategic repositioning in technology, the launch of new products, and of course, making sure that the media business expands into Africa. So I've recruited a very good management team there, but I'm also involved in the World Economic Forum, where I'm on the board of the Global Growth Companies Board, vice chairman of the Emerging Multinationals Board, and of course many other philanthropic activities. So I'm going to spread myself amongst my passion, which is philanthropy, supporting small businesses, investing into them, and technology. So I will be doing all of that. So I'm not quite going onto the golf courses, if that's is that what people have in mind.
Iqbal, you also mentioned the expansion into Africa, untapped regions, no doubt. Maybe if you can divulge further information as to some of the geographies you'll be taking a look into first.
Yes, sure. So I've been in Africa for a long time through my oil and gas business, and of course through some of the other investments in power and telecoms, etc. But we've never really had a strong presence in media. So one of the things that we will look at, as you know, I've put in a bid for SAPA, and part of that process is to have an African news syndication service, and plans are pretty well advanced to launch that in the first quarter of 2015. And I'm very passionate about Africa. I'm very optimistic about the continent. I believe that South Africa should be more integrated into the rest of Africa, and on an economic basis and cultural and social basis. So I'd like to lead that process and make sure that it actually happens. Yeah.
14 years, that's the tenure of your contribution as executive chairman thus far, Iqbal. Maybe give us a sense of what would you hold as maybe the biggest achievements that you've netted for Sekunjalo over the 14 years?
Well, I think, of course, it's been very successful from a financial point of view, but I want to give credit to all our employees, to the management team, the board of directors of the listed company. But for me, the single biggest factor is that, we've promoted a lot of young, in particular black women in the organization. As an example, my own secretary today is one of the senior directors of the group. The women have started with me. Factory workers have become senior executives and directors. And I think, Sekunjalo has always been ranked as one of the top empowerment companies in the EmpowerDex. I think it's the only company that's been ranked #1 consistently. It's a company that just this year got the top sustainability award in the financial sector for the JSE. and I think all of that speaks to the real transformation and not, the just talk about transformation. We're also one of the companies that has increased employment in 2014, which I think is amazing considering the economy. So I think those are the factors which really touch me. It's got a large enterprise development program, a large corporate social investment program, and I think that's the kind of business South Africa needs. So I'm very proud that we've been able to achieve many of those things, and of course at the same time deliver shareholder value by increasing the profitability, the asset base of the company, etc.